What is up, Dan fam? In this particular video, we're gonna cover from A to Z exactly how much money you need to start Shopify dropshipping on average. And I'm even gonna go ahead and outline particularly different budgets. I'm gonna outline a $500 budget, a $1,000 budget, and a $2,000 budget. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Now before I go ahead and hop in, you already know what I'm probably gonna say. 100K blueprint waiting list, and I keep pushing it in almost every single video. The reason being is because I wanna notify everybody when it actually releases and hits the public, and I wanna make sure you don't miss out. It's literally the world's very first. I released it 4 years ago, and we have multi-million dollars in results, well over $50 million in student results. Not only that, but the coolest part is it's literally the course takes somebody, a complete newbie, from nothing on day one, technically day zero, all the way to the 90th day. We build a store, get traffic, and every single month sequentially build you up to $100,000. So if you wanna go ahead and register for the waiting list, the link is in the description and probably the first comment on this video as well. So again, let's just get right into the reason why you're here. All right, so I'm gonna be breaking this down extensively in regards to different budgets. 500, we have 1,000, and we have 2,000 as well. Now, I really go into the nitty-gritty, the details, and just pay very close attention. So the very first thing you know is if you're gonna start off with Shopify as your platform, it's gonna be $29 a month for basic Shopify. It's pretty well known. Now, here's the other thing that it becomes one of the biggest questions, and I wanted to address. You have theme or apps. Now, what does that mean exactly? Theme and apps are completely different, yes. However, there are themes out there like Shoptimize, and there's a link in the description, and if you decide to go ahead and purchase it, I do get a commission for it. But if you don't decide to purchase it from me, you can go ahead and run a Google search and look for Shoptimize theme and buy it from there. So if you want to go ahead and support the channel, go for it. But I'm going to lay out everything and be very transparent with you just so you can see exactly the cost differences and what I realize as well. So themes, you can go ahead and use, let's just say, Simple Theme, which is free on Shopify. Now, there's a lot of free Shopify themes. I think there's 8 or 10 and 9, one of those numbers. There's a handful of Shopify themes that are free that you can go ahead and use. However, in order to make it work really well and have high conversions, you're gonna need certain applications, and those are the applications that I listed down below. However, if you use a theme like Shoptimize, that already comes with everything pre-installed, meaning all these apps that I'm gonna go over with you, they already have inside the particular theme. So it becomes up to you what you wanna do. If you wanna pay a lump sum, which I'll get to right down here, if you wanna pay a lump sum to have a particular theme, to not have to pay the monthly cost of all the apps, that's route A. But route B, you can also not buy the theme and just have the apps and pay for the apps every single month. Now, it is more cost efficient to have the theme, but immediately, and I'm gonna break this all down right down below over here, immediately, it's actually cheaper to go ahead and have all the apps, but over the long term, it actually is more money. So let's break this all down. So let's just take, for example, the Shoptimize theme. Now, if you don't know what the Shoptimize theme is, one of my sites, The Fancy Gadget, so one of my sites right over here uses this particular theme, and I love this theme. Now once it loads, I guess it's a little slow because I'm using my screen recorder, but let me just show you exactly what I'm talking about. So you see sold in the last hour. We also have the countdowns, okay, how many people are viewing the particular site. We have a lot of different features. The related products, that's also an app that you would have to go ahead and purchase every single month, which I'm gonna get into in just a few minutes. But this theme, everything you see on this page comes with the theme. I just want to make that very clear. Everything. I didn't really do anything except change some text and obviously add in products. Everything else is inside of the theme. Understand that. Now, what I'm also going to talk to you about is the Fara App. Now, the Fara App is a lot of social proof and a lot of social proof elements that go on your particular page. That's $49 a month through the Shopify store. The auto currency switcher is $9.99 a month. Now, there's a cool feature when it comes down to the Shoptimize theme, is that it also goes ahead and looks at where your user is browsing from and adapts the website, adapts the entire theme in order to fit where your user is coming from. So just understand that. So we have delivery date range, which is also an app. You can search these apps verbatim on the Shopify App Store and take a look at the prices exact. So delivery date range, what does that mean? Right over here. So this is installed in my particular theme, in Shoptimize theme. This is why I like it, because it goes ahead and you can set the date ranges and it'll automatically populate on your particular site. But if you want an app to do that, it's $4.99 a month. Also, auto currency switcher. If you take a look right up here, USD, I can do Canadian. It would go ahead and automatically switch that for me. So you can take a look right over here. It switches, depending on what I click on. So when it comes down to it, you can also have that. It's an app. It's called Auto Currency Switcher, and it's $9.99 a month. So we have sold stock, which is $5 a month. Let me just go back to US over here. So what does that mean? 12 sold in the last 24 hours. That's an app that you can go ahead and have in your particular store as well that shows how many particular products have been sold in the last X, Y, and Z amount of time. Then we have AI-powered related products, which is $19.99 a month. And inside the theme, for me, Shoptimize, it's free, and it looks like it's a big Shoptimize pitch, but it's really not. I'm just outlining the different ways that you can go ahead and do this. I'm showing you that you have an app, and I'm also showing you that you have the apps. So we have related products and recently viewed. This is really cool. So the app for $19.99 a month, related products, will show you related products. However, we also have recently viewed. If somebody goes and takes a look at my store, they'll come back and it's cookie based. It'll show the user who comes back to my store exactly exactly what they were looking at before. So that's a really good app. Social Proof, $8.95 a month. Now this one's interesting. If I go on to a different, I can set this up as a matter of fact. I can set this up on the theme. I don't have it on set up on this theme only because it becomes really cluttered. So what is it? If you ever saw Get More Proof, so this right here, this is a great example. Something's gonna pop up on the left-hand screen. Yep, this right here, Get More Proof. So if you go ahead and if you take a look at this particular site, that's what it does. It pops up, it'll say, somebody from X, Y, and Z state or X, Y, and Z country just purchased this product in the last 24 hours. So that's what the Proof app does right over here. So Social Proof is $8.95 a month. Search that verbatim in the App Store and you'll get an app that does this exactly. So right over here, you saw how it just said X, Y, and Z user just started a free trial of Proof. Matt from Miami Beach, Florida. It would say, Roger from Miami Beach, Florida just purchased the solar power charging dock in the last 24 hours, right? So something like that. That's what Proof is. And it's a very, very good element, but it's not much so needed. Thus why I don't have it on my store. So we have visitor counter increase sales. So what does that mean exactly? Right over here. 52 viewing this product. So that's the visitor counter. Pretty simple. That is $2.99 a month. Discounted upsells, it's an upsell app, $19.99, but it's based on your Shopify plan. I think it can go up to $40 if you have the top tier Shopify plan. So just understand that, is that if you were to go ahead and just click add to cart, a pop-up would appear, and the pop-up would say, and I could set this on my theme as well, I just don't have it because I go right to checkout. So if I were to click add to cart with that particular app installed, it would go ahead and show me an upsell, like saying, hey, wait, by the way, this would be a great idea for you to purchase as well. Then we have skip cart, which is $9.99 a month. So if you click add to cart and the theme automatically does this for me, this is how I set it up. All it does is goes right to the checkout. Okay, it completely skips the cart page, like the items in your cart, and takes you right to checkout, which is, again, very, very powerful. Now, if we were to break this down, the total cost per month for all these applications become $130.89. And the total cost per year for all these applications become $1,570.68. And these are just a few of the applications. These aren't all of them. So just keep in mind that these are just the fundamentals. There's going to be others, like perhaps maybe you want an accordion-like FAQ page. So fancy gadget, let me just go right over here. So if I just go and show you what the accordion looks like, is there's an app that does that. I think it's $10 a month or $15 a month, something like that. But it goes ahead and creates your pages like this. You see how it's an accordion, how it goes down like that, and all of this. However, it's installed in my theme as well. So you have the total cost per year, which is $1,570.68. And then the total cost for the theme for one site license is $167. Again, I don't own it, but if you decide you want it, there's a link in the description. It helps me out for going ahead and creating this video and this content for you guys. That would be awesome if you want to go ahead and get the theme. That's completely up to you. I gave you both choices, the theme or the apps. So it's going to be one of the most costly business expenses that you have, which is the apps, if you decide to use the apps. Now, we have to move on to ads creation, or the creatives. So you have one of two options. You can go ahead and use something like Slidely, right? So let me just go over here. So I use Slidely to go ahead and create ads exactly like this one. Now, it's pretty simple what they do. Let me just mute this. So again, it creates slideshow-based ads, and then you create overlays like this, and it's very useful for a do-it-yourself. And these are my videos that I uploaded and can go ahead and easily run as a particular ad. So you have that as option number one, or option number two. And this one is, this one right over here is $35, but there are others that aren't $35. There's some that are like $10, $15. But I just wanted to give you an example that you can outsource it to somewhere like Fiverr and go ahead and have somebody do this for you to create an ad like this for you. So in regards to what the yellow is, just for reference, is what's the most viable option. So Shopify, you need it. Total cost for a theme, $167. That would be your most cost efficient. And then Fiverr, done for you. So basically, if you wanted to go ahead and pay somebody on Fiverr for $5 for every 30-second ad, or maybe 10-second ads, what you can go ahead and do is expect to pay $25. And I'm going to go ahead and just roughly estimate that. If it gets more expensive than that, Slidely might be the most cost-efficient variable or option for you. So again, keep in mind, right over here we have $25 for Fiverr, we have $167 for the theme, and we have $29 a month for Shopify in regards to having the platform. So now let's talk about advertisement. What we're going to take is we're going to take your budget minus total cost equals your advertisement budget. Now I'm going to break these all down one by one in regards to all the different variables and options that you have. So let's just say Shopify with apps, right? It would equal to around $159.89 a month plus $25 for Fiverr for your ads, which would equate to around $184.89, leaving you with $340.11 for ads, but you have to pay every single month for the apps, and the apps would be around $159.89 every single month for the apps. Now, if we remove the apps, it would be around $221, which is $29 a month for Shopify, $167 for the theme, and $25 for Fiverr, leaving you with $279 for ads, but you don't have to pay for the apps, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, with apps and Slidely, it becomes around $209 a month. $29 a month for Shopify, $130.89 for the apps on Shopify, and then you have $50 a month for Slidely, leaving you with around $291 for ads and a hard cost of $209 every single month, which would mean it's not your most viable option. Now, without apps and Slidely, would be $29 a month for Shopify, $167 for the theme, $50 for Slidely, leaving you with $254 in ad spend that you can use. However, you don't need to worry about, what apps, the apps that you actually need to go ahead and pay in the other variables. You just have to pay for Slidely. Now, without apps or Slidely, you're looking at around $221, just $221, but you have to pay $29 for Shopify every single month, $25 to Fiverr for ads, and $167 for the theme. Now, you only have to worry about the $29 a month for Shopify, and then you have $279 to advertise with. Now, for a lot of people, this one might be the most viable option that you have. However, it does look good on the outside when you see something like 209 right over here, or you see 184 with apps. Now, these two might be the best variables depending on your budget. You have to understand that you either have to pay everything up front, have less to advertise, but you don't have to worry about the monthly costs. So I personally think without apps or Slidely, for those of you watching this, would be the most viable, even though it seems like one of the most expensive, but you don't have to worry about the constant app costs every single month. You want to try to minimize your monthly expenses, and having a theme like Shoptimize would definitely minimize your expenses and allow you to make the most money because the conversions are high. So if you have a $1,000 budget, ideally what you would want to do is invest in some sort of training program, a course, to teach you how to properly run the entire business from start to finish. And it's very cliche, and a lot of people will probably give me a thumbs down or hate me for saying that, but at the end of the day, you need to understand, one thing that I really invest into myself with all the time is I buy so many courses. Even if I learn nothing from it, I go ahead and I take a look at how people are structuring the content and all that. There's other reasons why I buy courses, but I typically buy higher level courses, which might be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, just so I can learn a whole new different set of skills and learn new things that I might not have known. So if I go ahead and buy a Shopify course, it might be a $3,000 course rather than a $200 course, because I know everything from A to Z in a $200 course, and somebody who's releasing a $3,000 course is going to jam pack it with information, more information than I think I personally know, and then I can recap some stuff that I probably forgot. I can be like, oh yeah, that's right, you can do that. So being able to invest in yourself is huge. Now, I'm not saying take all your budget and then spend it on a course. Obviously, you want to go ahead and have enough to actually implement what you learn, or else that defeats the purpose. So I'm going to go over $1,000 budget. Without apps or Slidely, you're looking at $221. You want to invest $529 into Facebook ads. Now, these numbers are very precise because I did all the math here for you. So the daily budget of $5 per day per ad set, right? You want to test 7 to 10 ad sets for 72 hours, so 3 days straight. You need to get data and watch these numbers. The numbers you need to look at are the CPM and the CPUC, so the cost per unique click and the cost per meal. So there you go. Meal in Latin means 1,000, just so we're very clear why I said meal. So CPM between $14 to $16 is ideal. If you start seeing CPMs go to $35, $40, $50, that's really bad. That has so many different factors, but one of the main factors is because the people that you're targeting doesn't really want to see your ads, so Facebook isn't prioritizing you, and they're kind of giving you like the leftover ad spots, if you will. Then the cost per unique click, under $1 would be ideal. Now here's the thing with cost per click these days, is that a cost per click could be $2, $3, $4. I remember 3-4 years ago on Facebook, a cost per click might have been 30 cents or 40 cents. So everything just 3 to 5x right now, but under $1 is still really good. However, at the end of the day, profit is your biggest determining factor. So if you have a CPM that is $80 and a cost per unique click that's $5, $8 a click, and you're still profitable, that's fine, okay? Because at the end of the day, profit is what matters. The bottom line is what matters. And then you're taking your last $250 and you're gonna run influencer ads. What you're gonna do is you're gonna find 2 influencers for $100 or 1 influencer for $200. So you want a decent sized influencer, somebody who can at least generate some sort of traffic. And then what you wanna do is you wanna find, with your last $50, find an influencer for $50. It can be a generic page. And then you wanna run ads to that particular product that you're promoting. So this is exactly the strategy that I would follow in particular if I had a $1,000 budget. Now, let me go to $2,000 budget. And like I said before, you always want to invest no matter how much money that you have. You want to learn. You want to constantly be learning. So ideally, with $2,000, you want to invest into some course program to teach you how to properly run the entire business from start to finish. Now let's dive into it. Without apps or Slidely, you're looking at $221. So right over here, if you invest $1,500 into Facebook ads, now give or take, it would be lower. You have to factor in that I didn't take out the $221 in this particular example. So it would be $1,279 that you have to go ahead and advertise with Facebook ads. And I hope that's right. I just did it off the top of my head. So if it's wrong, I'm sorry. So the daily budget would be raised to $15 per day per ad set. And you want to test 5 to 8 at this point. And you want to test it for 72 hours. Now, you need, again, to monitor the data. All you're doing over here is allowing Facebook to have a bigger reach. Now, the more reach you allow Facebook to have, the better the stats are going to be, because they can get to your target customer faster. That's why when people say, well, I have a bigger daily budget, or they have a bigger daily budget, that's why they're profitable. Yes, because they're able to throw more money at their particular campaign, have Facebook reach more people. If you think about it logically, if they reach more people, you have a better chance of finding the customer rather than giving Facebook a little money and then your reach narrows down. So $15 per day per ad set, anywhere from 5 to 8 ad sets, test it for 72 hours. And you need to watch your CPM and CPUC. Again, $14 to $16 or under $1 is ideal. Those are the most ideal numbers again. However, profit is yet again your biggest determining factor. And then with the other $500 that you have left, what you're gonna go ahead and do is you're gonna run influencer ads. You're gonna find one influencer for $300 for a post. Now, it's gonna be very risky to do that. You can either split it up 3 ways for $100, 2 ways for $150, 1 way for $300. Personally, I think what your best bet would be to do 1 for $300, 2 for $100 if you have $500. So I would suggest kind of browsing around, shopping around for influencers, if you will, and then run ads to that particular product. So this was a great example of app costs, and what is more beneficial and cost efficient in the long term, because a lot of people might just say, oh yeah, I can get, and once you really go into it and start building a store, you realize that apps become the most costly thing. However, you can condense it, and that's why there's themes that I like to use as well, like Shoptimize, and there's a bunch of other themes that consolidate all these apps into one, and it's beneficial for you to use. So again, that is what I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you learned a lot. If you did learn a lot, give me a thumbs up on this video if you also like the fact of how in-depth that I went into this, and I'll create more videos like this for you. But again, these are the type of videos that I like to structure out more so for my 100K Blueprint students, and if you haven't done so yet, there's a early bird access link to sign up for a waiting list for the 100K Blueprint release this upcoming few weeks, hopefully before March, but if not, it'll be in March. I know I keep pushing it back. It's because I want to launch something that is beyond incredible, and I don't want to just push something out to the market just to push it out. So again, there's a waiting list down below. If you want to register for it, you can. But I do have one last thing to tell you before I end this particular video. Thanks. All right, so there was a lot that we covered in this video. There's a ton of different budgets that you can go ahead and be working with. And again, it really depends on you. But there will be people that watch this video and say, well, Dan, I don't have 100 or I don't have 500, 1,000 or $2,000. I only have like 150, $200. Quite honestly, I'm gonna tell you, number one, if you don't have the money, perhaps maybe get a job, or number two, watch another one of my videos to learn how to make some extra income and then save up. Because again, this is a business, don't forget about that. I hate when people look at this and think of it as like a hobby, if you will. It's not, you're actually building something long term. So it takes money to make money. As much as everybody says it doesn't, you do require some sort of capital. But if you don't have capital, you have to substitute time. So it's either time or capital. And if you want to go ahead and make capital, you have to give in your time. You see how that works? So essentially, that's what I would suggest, is trying to save up until you have at least $500 or so. So again, if you enjoyed this video, if you want more like this, shoot a like on this video. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications. And if you haven't done so yet, it's very, very important, okay? If you haven't done so yet, make sure you're following me on Instagram. Pretty dang important. I'm really building up this follower count. I'm trying to hit 30 million by the end of this year, and I'm give or take 29,980,000 away. So we'll get there by the end of this year. So again, Dan FM Notification Squad. Subscribe with notifications. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you tomorrow.